Perhaps one performance by a Fabio Capello team stands out from all the rest. The 1994 European Cup final, when AC Milan defeated Barcelona. Johan Cruyff's dream team included stars like Romario and Hristo Stoichkov. But that night in Greece, they were swept away by Milan. The manner of the 4-0 victory was a testament to the creed of Fabio Capello.
A superstar can help you win things, but can also destroy what you're working towards. These players weren't like that. They were true champions and not star players. Those are two very different things.
This story begins with Fabio Capello, the player. A Coppa Italia winner with Roma, he would go on to win 3 league titles with Juventus before finishing his career at AC Milan, where he played alongside a young defender, Franco Baresi.
He was already a coach on the pitch. He was a midfielder who was very tactically switched on. And I think he was also very intelligent, a team player, as he'd played for Juventus, for the Italian national team, so he'd played at the very highest level. I think it was clear he had the ability to be a great coach.
As soon as I stopped playing, I became a coach for various youth teams. It was something I really liked. You get to see incredible changes and improvements in a very short time working with youngsters. It's like they're little plants. You water them every day and they grow.
Capello's first taste of managing Milan came in 1986-87, replacing Niels Liedholm for 5 games. It was only a temporary role. Club president Silvio Berlusconi had other plans for Capello.
I managed for Milan in baseball, ice hockey, volleyball and rugby. And I think that helped me for the job I came back to after 4 years when Berlusconi called me and asked me if I was available to return to the world of football. And, of course, I said yes.
He was part of the club, but he only really had experience with the youth sector. Capello was able to carry on the work of Sacchi. He brought a few new ideas and perhaps gave a bit more freedom to the players, to the great understanding and knowledge that we already had.
It was a difficult return, as after so many years of success under Arrigo Sacchi, and with me having worked away from football for some time, I wasn't the most popular choice of manager for most people.
And Fabio Capello would never court popularity.
The media and the fans like to have their same stars. These are the negative stars. The positive stars are the ones who are never ever happy with a bad result and who never look back on what they achieved in the past.
He was very demanding. He wanted discipline, hard work and professionalism. In those 2 hours of training, he wanted everyone to be perfectly focused.
He was a demanding man, very hard, a man of few words and few smiles during our daily work at Milan. So my first impression of him was that I found him intimidating. The main aim of that team was to always train for whatever lay ahead. And that was winning. Winning the championship, winning the first game, and never thinking about what we'd already won.
Capello had been a great footballer, so he continued Sacchi's technical and tactical work, but added his knowledge of great footballers to it.
I think that Capello's arrival was crucial to keep the group going, because after the Sacchi era had finished its cycle, everyone was saying that that was the end of Milan.
Players of the calibre of Ruud Gullit, Frank Rijkaard and Marco van Basten were inherited from Sacchi. The popular view was that the squad was growing old and wholesale changes were needed. Capello disagreed and was proved right. with instant success.
I was of the same opinion as Silvio Berlusconi in keeping the side together. And that team became known as the Invincibles because we went 58 games unbeaten. That's a record. We won the championship without losing a game and still went unbeaten for longer.
The strength of that squad was the players, an unbelievable squad.
3 more Serie A titles followed in the next 4 years. His Milan team had an imposing presence. Capello's reputation was growing.
Technically, we were better than anyone else, but also mentally, and that's important. Everyone thinks you win games with your feet. No, you win games with your head.
The San Siro had a new hero, a tactician, a disciplinarian, with a precision of mind and clarity of thought.
At half-time in every game I'm involved in, I walk from the bench to the dressing room. I get to the dressing room and tell everyone to be quiet. Get fluids in you, change your shirts, but I don't want to hear anyone speak or moan about anything for 3 or 4 minutes. In that time, I think about what to do and what to say, and in what way I'll say it and how I'll behave. Sometimes I'll scream and shout. Sometimes I'll talk calmly.
He went in there bringing in his own psychology and was able to resuscitate a group which everyone was saying was on its way out. And they went on to win 4 league titles and a Champions League. And that showed what a great manager he was.
In 1993, Milan lost to Marseille in the final of the Champions League. But they reached the showpiece occasion again the following year in Athens, where they would face Johan Cruyff's Barcelona.
I remember in the week leading up to the game, there was very little talking going on. It only happened on the pitch, and there it was just Capello who spoke. It was because we were all so focused.
Barcelona showed themselves to be very superficial when they arrived. They thought all they needed to do was pull on the shirt and they'd beat Milan. But you need to do a bit more than that in a game.
Every time we read the papers and read what Cruyff and the Barcelona players were saying, we just became more and more determined.
The fact that we were playing as underdogs helped us. It was perhaps the best final Milan have ever played in.
Despite the absence of Franco Baresi and Alessandro Costacurta, Milan produced one of the most emphatic performances ever seen in a European final. Striker Daniele Massaro scored twice in the first half.
Tactically and technically, it was perfect.
Shortly after half-time, Dejan Savicevic made it 3-0. Before Marcel Desailly sealed an emphatic 4-0 win.
We exploited their weaknesses absolutely perfectly, and we didn't allow them to show any of their attacking potential.
He was good at giving us the motivation to believe in ourselves and what we were going to do when everyone thought we were going to lose. I remember, as soon as that game was over, as soon as we lifted the trophy, he was already thinking of the following year.